name, amen.
Your Excellency, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, President of the Republic of Malawi. Your Excellency, Madam Monica Chakwera, First Lady of the Republic of Malawi. Right Honorable Catherine Gotani Hara MP, Speaker of the Parliament. Honorable Agnes Nyalonje, Minister of Education, and all Cabinet Ministers here present. Your Excellency, Robert Scott, Ambassador of the United States of America to the Republic of Malawi, and all dignitaries here present. Dr. Jane Banda, SC, Deputy Secretary to the President and Cabinet, and all government officials here present. Mrs. Grace Gulula, Headmistress of Mchengatua Community Day Secondary School, parents and teachers here present. Ms. Nolia Limbani, Head Girl of Mchengatua Community Day Secondary School, and all students of Mchengatua Community Day Secondary School here present. Inkosi Yamakosi Mbera 5, and all traditional leaders here present. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me welcome you to the official handover of Secondary School Education Expansion for Development, SEED, Urban Classroom by the Government of the United States of America here at Mchengatua CDSS in Mzuzu. Your Excellency, through SEED, 96 classrooms have been constructed in 30 existing schools across our cities in Malawi. SEED program, Your Excellency, is based on the idea that improved access to secondary school significantly improves education and key health outcomes, such as delayed sexual activities and reduced rates of HIV infections among pupils. This is some exciting news to the education sector, and all of the students are excited. Your Excellency, allow me to call upon Ms. Nolia Limbani, Head Girl of Mchengatua Community Day Secondary School, representing all students, to give us a speech.
Our guest of honor, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Malawi, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, the First Lady, the Minister of Education, the Education Divisional Manager North, the District Education Manager Mzuzu City, the Youth Aid Country Director, the Head Teacher of Mchengatua Community Day Secondary School, the Deputy Head Teacher, all members of staff, the PTA Chair, parents, my fellow prefects, boys and girls. On behalf of my fellow prefects, and indeed on my behalf, I would like to welcome you all to this auspicious event. It is so humbling to have been gathered here for the opening of our outstanding newly constructed USAID classroom blocks. Firstly, let me remind each one of you about the importance of education. It is a school where we learn and develop personal skills, mental skills, and moral values. You can agree with me, Your Excellency, that education is indeed a key to success. It is pathetic to learn that all the above do not develop fully because learning in most schools in Malawi is done in environments that are not conducive for studies. Your Excellency, if we can go through our history as Mchengatua Community Day Secondary School, you will learn that most schools in Malawi have several challenges that are untold. However, I won't dwell on the challenges because USAID has brought an everlasting solution to our school as well as other secondary schools in Malawi. USAID has protected us from COVID-19 by constructing the most magnificent classroom blocks in the land. You can agree with me, my fellow students, that throughout this COVID-19 pandemic, our school has not recorded any case because we are observing social distance with the context of the new classroom blocks. It is a fact, Your Excellency, that the construction of the new classroom blocks has been a great relief to our school. This has been illustrated through an improvement in the performance of both teachers as well as students. In each of the new classrooms, there is a form teacher office. The office helps form teachers to interact with the students, hence making it easy to assess the student and monitor the learning process. In addition to this, the new classroom blocks are well furnished inside. Every student now sits comfortably on his or her own desk. Pavements are of good size, so that teachers are able to move freely around classes whenever they want to emphasize a point or deliver new concept to us. Furthermore, girls have also benefited a lot from the new classroom blocks, as they are able to sit comfortably on the new desk compared to the old benches. Hence, their performance has changed greatly. Similarly, USAID has not only constructed classrooms, but it has also constructed toilets which have a change room. This has helped to minimize girls' absenteeism from school during the time they go at their messes. Menstruation no longer cause for worry, as they can now enjoy the right to privacy and are kept in school all the times. However, the school land, which was reserved for the construction of girls' hostels, has been encroached. This has brought worry to us girls. Lastly, I would like all of you to look around at our school premises. Does it not look beautiful? The school attracts a lot of students from other schools because of the good performance, which is enhanced by our well-qualified and hardworking teachers who are professional and remain vigilant at all times. I'm very much thankful to the USAID through the government of Malawi for the well work done. Thank you all for your kind attention. May God bless you.
Thank you so much. That was head girl of Nkhani Community Day Secondary School, Ms. Nolia Limbani. Your Excellency, the 30 schools that has benefited are in Lilongwe, Blantyre, Zomba, and Mzuzu. And in Lilongwe, there are 13 schools, while in Blantyre, 9. In Zomba and Mzuzu, they have 4 each. Before I preempt, Your Excellency, allow me to call upon His Excellency, Robert Scott, Ambassador of the United States of America to the Republic of Malawi, to give us his speech.
Very good, thank you. Your Excellency, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, President of the Republic of Malawi. Your Excellency, Madame Monica Chakwera, First Lady. Honorable Agnes Nyalonje, Minister of Education. Honorable Speaker, Kutani Hara. All directors for the Ministry of Education here present. Also the Chair of the Education Committee, Honorable Kaisi. Traditional Authority Nkosi Amakosi Mibawa V. Grace Galula, Head Teacher, Chingautuba CDSS, congratulations. Teachers and students, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Mulibwanje nonse? Ndili bwino. Zikomo, Pondilandili bwino kuno ku Mzuzu. Ndini osangalala chifukwa cha mwambo uno. Sogolo la ana antu ndilo funika kuli teteza. I practiced that one word so carefully and I still stumbled over it. We can always continue with our learning. I am extremely honored to join you for this event in Mzuzu, Malawi's Emerald City, to celebrate our successful partnership as we complete the urban phase of the Secondary Education Expansion for Development, or SEED program. And I'm going to borrow from you, Your Excellency. The President said what an appropriate acronym, how appropriate it is to call this SEED, because from seeds, things grow. And so what we've seen is from these 96 classrooms, we're going to grow that in our next phase into 200 schools, and that is going to grow into the youth of this country, allowing the youth of this country to achieve the education that the President and the Minister and everyone else here is so dedicated to. So the SEED urban facilities, the ones that we're here for today, will add 5,760 seats in 96 secondary school classrooms in Mzuzu, Lilongwe, Zomba, and Blantyre. Classrooms are brighter, better ventilated than traditional classrooms, and they provide for a very good learning environment. In addition, as the student, thank you again, had stated, each school will receive separate boys and girls latrines and a discrete changing room to accommodate girls' hygiene needs. These new classrooms come at a vital time as the world and Malawi, all of us, combat the COVID-19 pandemic. Classroom decongestion is key to ensuring a healthy and safe learning environment. The classrooms that we're opening today help provide that environment. These new classrooms in urban cities are only the beginning, as I told the President. In partnership with the government of Malawi, which is providing all of the qualified teachers for these schools, the U.S. government will soon begin construction on the larger rural phase of our $90 million, that's a 71.2 billion kwacha SEED program. This component, the next component of SEED, will build 200 new community day secondary schools across the country, including in every district, to bring schools closer to where girls and boys live. The SEED program comes at a time when access to secondary school is limited in Malawi. This past year, only 1 out of 3 qualifying primary students gained a secondary school placement. More than 65,000 qualifying adolescent girls were unable to continue their education. Some must travel long distances to attend school. So what we're doing in partnership is we're addressing that issue. Together, Your Excellency, we will increase access to secondary schools nationwide by up to 25%. Together, we are removing major barriers so that students can complete their education in safe and healthy environments. I'd like to add that the SEED program is not only an education program. The program is based on evidence that access to secondary schools significantly improves key health outcomes, such as reduced rates of HIV infection. For every additional year in school, girls are better able to make healthy decisions about their own lives and the well-being of their future families. For this reason, the SEED program is combining USAID education funds with funding from the US President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, known as PEPFAR. I would just like to note that this is the first time globally in the entire world that the United States government is doing that. Mr. President, your country and our SEED program is setting a standard and will be evaluated across the globe for us to take this innovative approach. So congratulations on that as well. Again, I'd like to honor the vision and commitment of the government of Malawi to expand education access across Malawi. Our two governments have a memorandum of understanding committing the government to provide public land, qualified teachers, and maintenance for all the new secondary schools, which the US government is assisting in constructing. The government of Malawi also agreed to update life skills curriculum to include comprehensive sexuality education to provide youth-friendly health services. Your Excellency, we recognize that these commitments are no small task. We do, however, share your optimism that this partnership will help further the health and education of Malawi's youth so that they may productively contribute to this great country for generations to come. This is an investment that will assist generations. Given this, I would like to share a few words with the students gathered here today. Let's see if I can do a little better this time. Atsikana limbikilani mafunziru. Anyamata limbikilani mafunziru. Pewani matenda a AIDS. Konzani tsoglo lano labuino. Thank you. Again, Mr. President, the United States and my team at the embassy, many of whom are represented here today and who you met earlier, and I'll just step away from my speech, they're so incredibly proud of this project, and they're so honored that you and your spouse and the minister and the speaker and everyone else is here today. This really allows them to feel that what they're doing, they know this, but to really feel that what they're doing is important. And so thank you for honoring us with your presence and coming in and opening this for us. So together, we will pave the way for new opportunities and a better future for Malawi's youth. Thank you. Zikomo Kwambiri.
Thank you so much. Right about now, we're going to watch a performance by Chengotua CDSS students. And then after that, I'll ask Honorable Agnes Nyalonje, Minister of Education, to give us a statement. But right about now, Chengotua Community Secondary School students with your performance.
We are the student of them change. 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 Your Excellency, we welcome you and the First Lady here at our school. We want to thank you for the construction of the blocks, the toilets, and the gifts of chairs. We promise we're going to take care of all of these and to promise to work hard to achieve our goals. Thank you. Let me
That was a beautiful performance by Mchengotua CDSS students. Your Excellency, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, President of Republic of Malawi. Allow me to ask Honorable Agnes Nyalonje, Minister of Education, to give us a statement, and then later ask you to address us. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, President of the Republic of Malawi. Your Excellency, Madam Monica Chakwera, First Lady of the Republic of Malawi. Your Excellency, Robert Scott, Ambassador of the United States to the Government of Malawi. Right Honorable Catherine Gotani Hara, Speaker of the Malawi Parliament and Member of Parliament. Chair of the Education Committee, Honorable Brenax Kaisi, MP. Dr. Janet Banda, Deputy Secretary to the President and Cabinet. All directors and officials from the Ministry of Education and all government officials present. Members of the Diplomatic Corps, Mr. Gomeziani Nyasulu, Chief Executive Officer of Mzuzu City, Inko Siamako Simbelwa, and all the fifth rather, and all traditional leaders here present. Mrs. Grace Kulula, Head Teacher of Mchengautua CDSS. And Your Excellency, with your permission, allow me to particularly recognize Ms. Nicola Limbani, head girl for Mchengautua CDSS, and to say, as Minister of Education, I'm particularly proud if what you have presented and how you've presented represents the quality that Mchengautua CDSS has to offer. Teachers and students of Mchengautua CDSS, parents and guardians, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, my humble duty this afternoon is to request you, Your Excellency, to address us. However, before I do so, allow me to make a few remarks. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, it is an honor to be here today for this official commemorative handover of the facilities that have been constructed under the first phase of the Secondary Education Expansion Development SEED program. The SEED program, as we've heard from the Ambassador, is bringing a substantial expansion to secondary education in Malawi. The timing of this handover is especially crucial for my ministry as we seek more space to ensure that we can socially distance our learners in our classrooms and address the COVID-19 pandemic requirements. The Ministry of Education deeply appreciates the the $90 million investment made by the American government and the American people through the United States Agency for Development, USAID, under the SEED program. Here in Malawi, we believe, Your Excellency, that education is important, but we have not yet reached a time when all students enroll in primary school and when all students transition from primary to secondary school. Indeed, Your Excellency, of all the children that should be in secondary school, in Malawi, we only manage to educate 16%. That is 16 out of every 100 children that should be in secondary schools are the ones that we're currently managing to educate. And this is largely to do with the shortage of classroom spaces. My ministry seeks to ensure that this situation does not continue. But to change this reality, Your Excellency, requires continuous and substantial investment in secondary school infrastructure. We therefore welcome the new secondary school classrooms and community day secondary schools that will be constructed across the country in partnership with the United States government. As His Excellency the Ambassador has stated, under the SEED program, 96 classrooms have been built at 30 existing urban schools in Mzuzu, Lilongwe, and Zomba and Blantyre under this first phase. Under SEED Rural, which is the next phase, we will construct up to 200 secondary schools, as we've heard, in rural areas, meaning that rural youth are finally also going to have schools of quality. Your Excellency, let me digress a little bit from the written speech at this moment. This is a particularly passionate issue for me and for the whole of the government, because we know that many students, more students, go to school in rural areas, the majority in fact. And we also know that resources are most lacking in those schools. We know, for example, that most rural kids do not have a chance to study science and become doctors, to study science and become engineers, because when they go to school, the school does not have a laboratory, the school does not have a library, the school does not even have qualified science teachers or teaching and learning materials. With the coming of this program of construction, we have now the beginning of addressing that imbalance, that inequality, which has allowed us to consign rural youths to a future that they do not deserve. Your Excellency, I will now return to my written speech. My ministry is fully committed to supporting these new schools under the SEED program. As part of our education sector reforms, we will produce well-qualified teachers and hire and deploy the teachers appropriately to these and other schools in Malawi. It is well known that a lot of our schools do not have teachers. It is also well known that a lot of our schools do not have teachers for the relevant subjects. It is well known that our deployment sometimes leaves a lot to be desired, which is why my ministry is focusing on improving how we deploy teachers. Research shows, Your Excellency, that having effective teachers is the most important factor in student achievement. Teachers play a vital role in cultivating a love for learning in students. Because we know that teachers matter, my ministry is focusing its efforts on not only increasing the number of available teachers, but also improving the status and effectiveness of teachers. Our goal is to have quality teachers, quality educators in every classroom to inspire students on a daily basis. Not only must we have quality teachers in place, but we also need to have safe, well-maintained classrooms to promote quality learning environments for our students. To achieve this, my ministry is committed to partnering with local communities to maintain the new SEED constructed buildings and schools. And I call upon you teachers, community members, parents, and students to keep these new classrooms in top condition. The learning environment should reflect the seriousness of the learning itself. A well-maintained classroom communicates to our students that we value their education. Your Excellency, my ministry is also committed to mitigating the effects of HIV and AIDS through the national curriculum policy, which will inform the development of comprehensive sexuality education for students in primary and secondary school, because we believe that education is one of the best ways to prevent HIV infection. As we all know, education provides our children with a brighter future. Educated girls raise healthier children, have greater earning potential, and invest more into their family and community. We know that boys as well as girls benefit from higher levels of education. By combining our efforts with the US government, we are optimistic about making secondary schooling accessible to many, many more Malawian youth. In conclusion, Your Excellency, let me now address the students who will be learning in the new classrooms here at Mchengautua, and indeed in all the government schools that are going to be built through this project. These classrooms are built for you, students, to provide you an environment that allows your teachers to better support you, to learn, to grow, and to expand your horizons. We believe in you, and we want you to take your education seriously. We want you to commit to coming to school every day. We want you to commit to studying your lessons seriously. We want you to commit to respecting your teachers and keeping your school a safe place to learn. Do not take your education for granted, but instead take it as an opportunity to improve your future. We recognize that many students across the country continue to struggle with limited resources. Together with our international partners, the Malawi government wishes to improve the learning environment for all students. This will take time and money. The investment that the United States government and the government of Malawi are making for your education through this project is therefore an important step in the long-term process. Please respect the investment by giving your best every day. You are the future of this country. Today, we are very honored to have His Excellency, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, the President of the Republic of Malawi, here with us to grace this very special occasion. At this time, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite His Excellency to address us. Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, Madam Monica Chakwera, First Lady of the Republic of Malawi, Right Honorable Catherine Godanihara MP, Speaker of the Malawi Parliament, Honorable Agnes Nyalonje, Minister of Education, and all Cabinet Ministers here present, Your Excellency Robert Scott, Ambassador of the United States of America to the Republic of Malawi, and all dignitaries here present. Dr. Janet Banda, SC, Deputy Secretary of the President and Cabinet, and all the government officials here present. Mrs. Grace Glula, Headmistress of Mchengautua Community Day Secondary School, parents and teachers here present. Ms. Nolia Limbani, Head Girl of Mchengautua Community Day Secondary School, and all the students of Mchengautua Community Day Secondary School here present. Inkos Yamakos Simbera V and all traditional leaders here present, party officials, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Monire Mose. Today, we celebrate the completion of Phase 1 of the Secondary Education Expansion for Development SEED program. By extension, we also celebrate the close working partnership between the government of Malawi and the United States government that this program embodies. I therefore want to say to you, Ambassador Scott, at the very outset, that we are grateful for the $90 million that the American people have committed to this nationwide project. I am pleased to know that with this investment, the expansion of 30 community day secondary schools like this one here has now been completed in Blantyre, Zomba, Lilongwe, and Mzuzu, and that the construction of up to 200 new secondary schools in rural areas will soon be underway. Additionally, I applaud the spirit of bilateral partnership that has exemplified in this project. This is because even though these schools are built with American funding, the construction work itself is being done by Malawian companies, and the education that our kids will receive in these schools will be facilitated by Malawian teachers. In turn, these students who benefit from this education will rise out of the illiteracy and poverty that plagues their communities and be furnished with the tools for making those communities better. So in short, this is not a handout. This is a hand up. Because an education is a gift that keeps on giving and is arguably the best form of social protection for our children. This project will therefore be a real game changer, especially for the Malawian girl child, helping us close the gap in education access between boys and girls. For it is unacceptable that more than 65,000 Malawian girls who finish primary school each year are unable to go on to secondary school. As such, any country that tag teams with us to change that is a true friend of Malawi. And I'm happy that the United States is among our truest friends. When it comes to the protection and empowerment of girls through education, we need all hands on deck. Giving girls access to schooling and keeping girls in school must be a multi-stakeholder endeavor, a collaboration between government, the private sector, communities, and development partners. Working together to keep girls in school leads to greater economic gains by ensuring that both genders are given the capacity to reach full economic potential. Working together to keep girls in school leads to reductions in unwanted pregnancies and new HIV infections. Working together to keep girls in school is indispensable in our quest to build a new Malawi in which all Malawians prosper together. The collaboration that's needed to protect our girls must always exist at the intersection between stakeholders in education, development, social services, health, and security. For example, if there are books to advance the education of girls, but no teachers on duty, or there are teachers using strike action to air their grievances at the expense of their students, the girl child suffers. If there are teachers available to teach, but no educational facilities developed to house that teaching in a clean and safe environment, the girl child suffers. If there are educational facilities, but no gender-sensitive or gender-responsive social services to meet the psychosocial needs of students, the girl child suffers. If there are social services to meet the needs of the students, but no health centers to provide that age-appropriate, youth-friendly, and stigma-free health services on STI prevention, these are sexually transmitted infections, and treatment, family planning, and gender-based violence, the girl child suffers. If there are health centers to meet that unique health needs of girls, but no policing communities to protect them from sexual predators in the home or on the street, the girl child suffers. As you can see, the protection of girls must be a collaborative effort if it is going to be holistic. So in this regard, my government is committed to work across multiple ministries and with all stakeholders, not only to advance the education of girls in general, but also the objectives of the SEED program in particular. And with a close development partner like the United States, my administration intends to plant enough seed today for the harvest of an educated and healthy generation tomorrow. I myself will see to it. I will see to it that my administration makes full use of the SEED initiative, SEED initiative, by adequately staffing and resourcing the new secondary schools and classrooms. I will see to it that government's recent decision to eliminate certain secondary school fees is adhered to. I will see to it that the school facilities developed under the SEED program are properly maintained. We must do this, not only as a civic and national duty, but also as a repayment of the debt we owe to our children. We owe our children the opportunity to to develop the potential to solve the challenges they will face in a future we will not see. We owe our children the chance to become the nurses and the doctors who will face down the pandemics of tomorrow. We owe our children the chance to become the scientists and engineers who will design and build the technology and infrastructure needed to keep the planet clean and safe enough to raise their own children in. We owe our children the chance to become the artists and educators who will inspire a generation of Malawians not yet born to reach heights too great for their grandparents to imagine. We owe our children the chance to learn economics and financing so that Malawians they raise tomorrow do not repeat the wastefulness and the mistakes of the Malawians we raised yesterday. So, in honor of our children and the Malawi and U.S. government's relationship, so that we can let the children work together and get them educated, I want to close with a word to those who work as teachers in our national schools. Our minister admonished the students well. But I borrow this word from the Whitney Houston song titled "The Greatest Love of All." And I quote, "I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride." End of quote. If you can do that, if you can do it even at great cost to yourself, then all this investment will be well worth it. And what is more, you will have the thanks of a grateful country, and in my case, you have the thanks of a grateful president. God bless you for listening, and God bless Malawi. Zikomo yeo chomene, and I know my milirakale. Zikomo kwambiri. Koma maphunziro si chinthu chotitiseweretsa. Kumene aphunzirira sizotitiseweretsa. Amene aphunzitsa siwotitiseweretsa nawo. Vanawo siwotitiwapondereza. Maphunziro ake akhala standard yapamwamba yakuti aliyense akhoza kudzutsa mutu wake kwina kulikonse pa dziko lapansi nkunyadira kuti ine ndaphunzira ku Malawi koma ndaphunzira zenzene. Chifukwa dzikoli lasanduka dziko limodzi mudzi umodzi. Tikamatukula Malawi tutukulaso maiko ena. Tikatukula maiko ena tisayiwale Malawi. Kuno nkwathu zimene anaonetsa injiniya yawa mmene timaona nyumba ya mangazi zinthu zakuti zikhoza kutipatsa chidwi ife, koma nthawi zambiri zikamangidwa zinthu zabwino sitisamalira zimaonongeka msanga. Tilibe chidwi chozindikira kuti wena akakuthandiza ngakhale kupatsa shati sikuti batani likatothoka kwapitenso kwa iwo aja nkukanena kuti patseni batani shati ija mdani patsai ilibe mabatani pali pano. Chimenecho nchibwana kumene kunkusazindikira kuti udindoni wathu kuti zinthu zonse ziyende bwino vana vathu akhale ni tsogolo lofunikira ndi lowala. Ambuye akudalitseni ziko.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, a quick announcement. His Excellency, the State President, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, has donated 2 million Malawi kwacha towards Nchengotua CDSS students' welfare. This is to benefit the entire school and students. Your Excellency, I humbly request you to lead us in national anthem.